Welcome in, Washed Up Walk-Ons fans, to episode 291 of the podcast, brought to you by DRF Sports, as always, at least, for the first part of this year. I'm not Drake. Obviously, you noticed that. I say that every time that I have the intro because I want to set the expectations. It's Kevin and I. Not only is it Kevin and I today, but it's Turn Signal Kevin, I-80 Kevin. And for a while there, Kev, we thought that we might just have you stranded out on the road.
It was a close call. Some of these gas stations get few and far in between when you're out here in God's country. But we found one. We're filled up. We're ready to go these next couple hundred miles.
What was that, the Rusty Ranger or something like that?
The old Road Ranger saved us.
Road Ranger. I love when...
I don't know about saved us. I mean, because gasoline is just absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, we're just getting bent. Yeah, we're getting bent over on the gasoline. Yeah, getting bent. Cool. Well, I thought that this was going to be a short episode anyway. It might even be shorter if we don't get Drake. Drake was fully expected to show up today. He is in the group chat. He said, I will be home in like 20 minutes at 3:40. He said, call it 4-ish. We hit record on this podcast at 4:20, which is ironic and for Drake. And he's still not here. So you never know with him. If you're a fan of the DHT and you listen to the one during the season where he talked about his road rage incident, you know that at any point Drake's liable to chase somebody down on the road or into the wilderness just to participate in hand-to-hand combat with them and prove his dominance. So that could be happening. Other things could be happening. He might have fallen asleep. All of the above has happened before, and we're going to power through. I'll try to lead this in the most productive way possible. Kev, the Pro Bowl, hell of a game. Used
to be fun to watch, man. Used to be really fun to watch.
You said when
today, not so much.
Yeah, you said that me or you might be able to win the MVP of that game.
I think if you put an average athlete out there who actually gave 100% effort, yeah, they would probably be the game MVP. I mean, the defensive linemen are like taking 2 steps off the ball. That's all it's it. They're doing like 2-hand touch out there, man. It's just like, why are we even having a game? It's not even fun to watch. I watched it for 2 drives. I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah, it's really bad. I saw some of the highlights and the linemen don't try. And the whole thing is like, as a guy, sure, you're in the Pro Bowl. You don't want to get hurt because that for no reason starts. And I understand it too. Like,
I completely understand that as well. I mean, you've just finished, 17-game season. Some of these guys, played last week for like their 20th game. They're beat up, and this is like the last thing they want to do. So my thing is like, seriously, why are we even playing the game?
I don't know.
It's so bad to watch. I would much rather them do like the skills competitions like on Sunday. I know they do them like throughout the week. I wasn't really able to watch them. I was busy doing stuff, but I think they should just do it all on Sunday and like kind of be like their prime time, showing their thing for fans to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
that'd be much more entertaining than what they're throwing out right now.
I think the skills competitions they're entertaining, and if you focused in on them and said screw the game, we're going to put all of our effort and energy into making these the show, I think you could make them even better. I think they would be a draw for people to watch. I think you'd get just as many people to watch that as well. They would be more apt to do them because they're fun and there's less of a chance of getting hurt. I think that the game, the way it's being played today, you actually, even though they're going at 50% speed, not even, you still have a chance to get hurt because when you don't go all out and you're not playing at the same speed that you practice, that's when weird shit happens. Like, that's just, I don't know. It's sort of it's a weird thing and I don't know why they do it. But hey, T Daddy Werfs was out there this week. I know George has been running around with a GoPro on his chest for the last couple days. So that's good content. George is getting jerseys thrown in his face. He's signing a bunch of autographs, living his best life. So good for the Hawks, but I just that
Yeah,
game.
I'm sure these guys have fun throughout the weeks. Just like everyone playing agrees that this game is kind of stupid, and I'm pretty sure everyone watching it has now come to the conclusion like, why am I watching this?
Yeah, I agree.
Just scrap the game, man. It's had its course.
What isn't stupid is Iowa wrestling, and I want to circle back to Carver Hawkeye Arena. I know that you were in attendance for the 1-versus-2. When was that? That would have been almost 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago.
A week ago Friday. Yeah. It was fun. It was a fun match, man. I honestly think the Hawks out wrestled them. We just couldn't win some of those close matches there. With DeSanto, Ironman, Warner was up late and got in a tough spot, finishing out the third period. A lot of great matches. I think it was really fun. It was really fun. Carver was as lit as always.
He was rocking.
And it was rocking. We started off slow with a couple losses. We're down, lost the first 3 matches, and then we come back and tie it up, and it got rocking in there, man. It's the best place in the world to watch college wrestling. There's no doubt about it.
Did you treat yourself to a Carver cone?
I didn't get a Carver cone, no.
How often does Kevin indulge in ice cream?
I won't ever really go buy it for myself, honestly. Sometimes I'll get myself a dessert after dinner out at a restaurant or something, but the only other time I'll eat ice cream is if it's in the house and my girlfriend is the one who's bought it, because I don't really buy it for myself.
Okay.
But if it's in the house, I have a hard time staying away from it.
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, everybody does. Yeah, I got to watch that Iowa wrestling meet on TV. I was in Omaha, but it was tough start because we're already down Spencer, and then he's out there, but now he's hurt, right? So now we're down to our third guy to start the match. You're basically, and nothing against what's that kid's name?
Barra.
Yeah, Barra.
Barra.
But we're working with our third guy there, and you're
it's the third string against the best. They're Penn State's number 1 in the country right now, and they're 125. I don't think he's anything great, but he's still a really good wrestler.
Right.
Unfortunately, we give up some bonus points to him.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Ayala he either wins or definitely doesn't give up bonus points in that first match. So that's a tough start. And then go ahead.
And if we have, and this is going to be all season, like this is a moot point, but if you have Spencer, and this isn't like, if Spencer has any ACLs in the world, we get bonus points there. So.
Yeah, you're talking about we're wrestling without the best wrestler in the country. Been the best wrestler in the country for the last couple of years. It's
potentially one of the best to ever do it.
Exactly. It's like asking the Lakers to go finish the rest of the year without LeBron. Right. They're not going to be the same.
Right. Have you?
I think we still have a lot of talent. I think we still have a great shot at the Big Tens and Nationals, but it's going to be a lot tougher hill to climb now without Spencer there. Because not only does he win, is that guy gets bonus points like none other.
Right. Yeah. He dominates, and that's a point swing in a match where we fought our asses off, and it was a close. What did it end up? 19-13, 19-15, something like that.
1916. So
16.
It was tied going into Kemmerer's match.
Huge.
Emmer gets boned over on a couple of calls.
Got absolutely
They
bent.
end up losing that one. Yep.
Fuck those refs.
We were outmatched at 184. We were, honestly, who do we throw out there? Did Brands wrestle 84 for us, or was it?
Oh, it was.
I think it was Assad. Abe Assad, I think, wrestled for us. But their 184 guys are really good, so we were lucky just not to give up bonus points there.
Right.
So we're down 6. And Warner, I feel like he should have been able to finish that match, but he gets caught. Looks like he ran out of gas there at the end.
Gassed out a little bit.
Yeah.
What are the odds we get Kevin Ward down to 184 and give him a COVID year?
You're going to ask the guy who's never wrestled
yeah, man.
Wrestle? I mean, do you want to see a guy get tech fouled in the first period?
No. I want to see you go for it. I want to see you get some points, man. Go get it.
And 184 would be that's a long ways away, man.
Oh, we would. Yeah. Not only is it a long ways away, like for you specifically, or for me or Drake, who are both in the 190s, but all three of us would get absolutely torched at that weight. Like it would be over so fast. It was, oh God, those boys are fucking strong and they know what they're doing.
Yes. I mean, that's just a skill in itself, is being able to retain your strength and speed and skill after cutting weight. You know, I lose 5 pounds over a weekend or something like that, and my bench press feels 10% weaker on Monday.
Yeah. I mean, we went through it all the time at Iowa where, depending on the weekend, what happened, what phase of the year you're in, like we're talking like in the summer and the weeks that we're in right now, we talked about how crucial those were before spring ball. You're at a training level where every little part of your life matters. How much sleep you get, how hydrated you are. Like those little out of the weight room factors matter into what you're capable of doing performance wise. And, call it a max lift for a football player or being able to perform on the mat for the wrestler. Like there are so many little details where you could feel completely different based off of one little factor. And it definitely is a skill for those guys to be able to cut weight and still walk. I mean, you got the juice of Carver and the fire and the, it's like gladiator straight up arena. But yeah, man, it's, those guys do it and it's not easy.
Not easy, man. That's why I got a ton of respect for him. And fun to watch, man. It really is. I've said it before on the podcast, but I was never a wrestling fan before coming to Iowa and grew into one, and it's awesome to see those guys compete.
Yeah. A lot of parallels there between football players and wrestlers and toughness and training and control over your body and stuff like that. So have you seen switching gears a little bit, have you seen Harbaugh, all that, Michigan, Gattis is leaving, any of that? You catch any of that?
Yeah, so I saw Harbaugh was flirting around with the Vikings job.
Yeah, people thought it was his.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like on Twitter it was like a done deal for one day. It's like, oh, Harbaugh to the Vikings. I don't know, man. It's weird. He said he doesn't want to go anywhere and he's going to stay at Michigan as long as they'll have him. Why are you even entertaining the interviews?
Right.
It just sends a weird message not only to your current players but to future recruits out there. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I know KF's not going anywhere, but if you were to publicly interview with some NFL teams, I'd be like, that's what's going on here?
Hey, coach, we're not going anywhere. What are you doing, huh? What are you doing? Oh man, it's funny. Their OC Josh Gattis, he obviously, they were pretty damn good on offense this past year. We got to see that, unfortunately, in Indianapolis. He was touted to be, for a second there, he was touted to be the next head coach if Harbaugh left. And now just days later, he's out. He's going to Miami. So
yeah,
it's and it's interesting. He actually said it came out that Gattis sent a text to players as he was kind of, closing off those relationships and packing his office up. And he said, unfortunately, the past few weeks has told a different story to me about the very little appreciation I have here from administration. In life, I would never advise anyone to be where they are not wanted. It's interesting. Yeah. So
yeah, I'd wonder what the deeper meaning behind that text is. I wonder if he's talking about Harbaugh or someone above that in the athletic department.
I have no idea. But now he moves on. And it's kind of funny because for those that get into the drama of it on Twitter, people are like, "Oh, Michigan's falling apart," and I don't think that's maybe the case, but it is interesting to look at. All right, I want to get in.
I wouldn't say they're falling apart, but I don't think they're going to have the year they had last year by any means.
No, I don't think so either. I want to get into this. We're not going to mess around today. And I kind of wanted Drake to be here. We can get his thoughts later. But quarterback, Kevin. Important position, right?
Debatable.
Some would say. Long snapper, special team guy, probably same level of importance there. But for the purpose of this conversation, I brought up the stats of the two quarterbacks that wore the black and gold for us this past season. And I just want to go over some stuff because it's been percolating in my mind, the idea of people aren't stupid. People know.
Some people are.
Oh, that's true. Some people are stupid. Oh man. Let's put those people aside. People know what Iowa was this year. Very, very plainly out in front of you. It wasn't a secret. Great defensive football team, great special teams, pretty good offensive weapons, but just couldn't put it together with a shaky offensive line for a lot of the time, plus a quarterback who, in both guys, who just isn't special and isn't able to really create. And you would look at that as a football guy, as a football fan, maybe as a quarterback on another team, or as a fan of our team, or a recruit, or somebody in the transfer portal, if you catch my drift of where I'm going here, and think, well, damn, seems like if Iowa had a quarterback, they might be able to do a couple things here. Like went to the Big Ten championship, played against Michigan and the whole squad that we just talked about there with Gattis and them. If they got somebody who can create, this might be a little different. If you are Coach Ferentz, and you're not.
I wish I was.
Fucking okay. All right.
So if my parents,
oh my gosh, now we got fucking Gronk commercials going on. What's going on? If you're Coach Ferentz and the staff in Iowa City, as the new year rolls around, it would just seem to me like the transfer portal would be a spot that you might be looking for a quarterback. No disrespect to Spencer, to Alex, to Joey, Labas, whatever. I don't know how to say his last name. I'm just going to call him Joey. But I don't, and you answer me this, Kev. I don't know if I see Spencer or Alex getting to a spot where they've made so many strides that you completely close off the idea of like, hey, we're not going to look in the portal for a quarterback. What are your feelings on that? If I'm the coach, and I've got the portal pulled up here as well, there were 10 plus quarterbacks that were all 4 or better stars recruits at big time Division I schools who are looking for new homes. And we could have theoretically gone after these guys. Now they've all found a home, right? But,
Yep.
but, and I don't know. I don't necessarily know that Iowa didn't try and get some of these guys, but it kind of feels like we would land somebody if we were trying. And knowing KF, I mean, he is old school. He does have a certain way of doing things. He's not the most modern coach in college football. I don't know if they recruited the portal or if they made that a priority or if they even cared about it. And man, I look at this list. We got Quinn Ewers from Ohio State, Caleb. This is hilarious to me. Oklahoma has 2 fucking quarterbacks that played amazing for them at times in big time games. They both left. They can't keep anyone happy there. Caleb Williams.
Where's Spencer Rattler end up going?
South Carolina.
That's right.
So Quinn Ewers from Ohio State to Texas. Caleb Williams, Oklahoma to USC. That was just recently announced. Jackson Dart was at USC. Now he's going to Ole Miss. At least that's the prediction. It says transfer / prediction on these, so I don't know if some of them are concrete or not.
No, Jackson Dart's confirmed.
Okay. Cameron Ward, who was a 4-star at, I guess he was at Incarnate Word. He's now going to Washington State. Dylan Gabriel, UCF. Now he's going to be the guy at Oklahoma. He'll be out in a year because they can't keep anyone there. Rattler from Oklahoma to South Carolina. Max Johnson went from LSU to now Texas A&M. Keaton Slovis, USC to Pitt. Connor Basilik from Missouri to Indiana. Levi Williams from Wyoming to Utah State. Like there's 4-stars transferring out, and they're like French fries in the back of a McDonald's. They're all over the place. And
yeah, I understand the sentiment, dude. I for sure do. Now, some of these guys have a little bit of track record at the college level, and there's some guys who really don't have much of a track record at all at the college level. Guys with minimal playing time, and it's kind of, I'm recruiting this guy who's 20 years old based on what he did in high school still. Like, that's going out on a limb, even more so than recruiting a high school kid, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now, some of these guys went to some other big-name schools. Who knows if Iowa was in their ear or not, or reaching out to these guys. I have no idea how the transfer portal even works, honestly. I don't know how you recruit in at all. Do you know?
What do you mean?
Like a guy enters the transfer portal. Is it just like normal high school recruiting? Like coaches can call you up, bring you on an official visit, all that stuff? How does it work? Do you know?
Great question. I believe that once you enter the transfer portal, it's open recruiting. I think you can talk to anybody. I think you can have open conversation. I'm pretty sure there's no restriction on it.
Okay. Well, like I said, who knows if we went after any of these guys or not. To answer your original question, yes, based off the body of work that we saw from our quarterbacks at playing time in 2021, there should have been at least the conversation within the staff room of, do we look at quarterbacks in the transfer portal?
Had to be.
Because no one can look anyone else in the face, say, we were okay with the production that we got at quarterback in 2021. We can win with that same level of production. We can't, okay? We cannot win at we probably can't repeat what we did last year with the same level of quarterback.
Damn near impossible. Yeah.
Like our defense and special teams, as we know, really, really carried the way.
And they're going to next year as well.
We obviously know that we have to get better at that position. There's no doubt about it. It's the most important position, arguably, in football.
I
you know, he's been around. He's a veteran guy now. How much more improvement is there? I don't know.
That's what I'm getting at. That's a great simple way to put it, right? Because last year at this time, we're sitting here and you know, he's got let me see if I can pull up the stats from just 2020. Yep, here we go. So last year we're sitting here at this time of the year, and it's like, okay, but give him a chance, right? Like he only got 8 games. Or 6
Yeah,
games.
they didn't have spring practice. You know, their season was canceled halfway through. I don't even know what the hell camp looked like. 2020 is a weird year, right?
Yeah, you're sitting there looking at him. You're like, okay, he went 57%, 9 touchdowns to 5 picks. Okay, his QBR was 61.4 for those who care about it. He threw for almost 1,600 yards. Oh, I was gonna say for a second, I was like, what the hell? That doesn't make any sense. And so you're like, okay, we're gonna give him a chance, right? Because of all these things. And that was totally warranted. He deserved that full offseason. He got it, right? And he comes back. And in 2021, his stat line looks like, you know, he gets, how many games did they play? They played 14 games. No, they played 14 games. Guy only.
He was not in for a couple of those.
That's true. He played specifically in, let's see. Padilla had 2 games all to himself, which were
time for a kitchen refresh.
I'm gonna murder that thing. He had Minnesota.
Yeah, he played all Minnesota and basically all of Northwestern.
And all of Northwestern.
He was out there for two drives for Northwestern.
And who played for Illinois? Who played Illinois? It's because it says he was 6 of 17 against Illinois. But so it looks like here, yeah, Spencer didn't have any stats against Illinois, at least that I'm looking at. So he had 3.5. So Spencer had about 10 games worth of work and only threw for 1,900 yards. Here's what really is not great. He threw 10 touchdowns, 9 picks. Now, granted, those picks at the end of the Purdue game were a little bit wishy-washy, but that's
excuse the stats a little bit, but still, 1-to-1 ratio is horrible.
It's very, very bad. You look at Padilla, right? We at least got to see a second quarterback, and he put out a very similar stat line. His completion percentage is worse than Spencer's was this year, right? Spencer threw for 56%. Padilla threw for 49%. He was 55 of 112. He threw for 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in about 4 games worth of action. It's just, it's not good. And then you look and you're like, okay, well, we have this perpetual state of, well, maybe now we give Alex Padilla another year, and maybe he deserves some time with some more time actually running and gunning with the ones in practice during spring ball and during the summer when skills and drills and in camp. But like, if you do that, you're just playing the cycle game over and over. Maybe Joey comes through and he proves that he can do something. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I feel like that would maybe get out. I know that there was an article about Joey being really good in December that came out during bowl prep. They've been impressed. Maybe they're just really confident that guy's going to come in and take over as the third guy. He's going to sweep past both of them. And I think that's probably best case scenario. Otherwise, we're setting ourselves up for a third year in a row of really lackluster, unfortunate focus from a fan perspective, because the whole thing is going to be, and Kev, we felt that this year it was like, well, okay, cool. We won 10 games. We're 10-2, but it feels like shit. Like I don't like watching this. And for you and me, we can get past that. And some other people can get past that because we understand and aren't so wrapped up in like enjoying the game as much as it is like, hey, let's enjoy being 10-2. But
hey, how about we enjoy you like clicking off whatever tabs you have in the background?
I know these things they're the ESPN little ads on the side. Everybody gets a little gain maniac in them. I'll just exit off since we use the stats already. But like that's where we're gonna be, and it just, and I know that KF and the staff, they're not concerned with that or what the fans think. They just want to win football games, which they did a lot of last year. But for me, man, it just would have been nice to grab one of these guys in the portal to shut people up at minimum. I don't know.
Sure. I mean, obviously, you're never gonna be opposed to adding talent to your roster. I mean, there's no sane person in the world that would be. I think it's too late to change anything now. We got the guys we got, and we're gonna try to train them up, get them performing at a higher level. And I can't really tell you. I'm leaning one way or the other going into this next season. Like you said, those stat lines are pretty damn near identical. We obviously know Padilla's got a little bit more mobility than Petras. Helpful. But you know, when it comes to throwing the football, I can't give either one of them the edge.
I can't either. And you know what also scares me is the fact that you know as well as I that when you start to split reps in practice and you're trying to figure things out, it doesn't, you know, the amount of reps that they're getting, like that's not doing either guy any good, getting half the reps, right? A lot of teams, they're trying to get as much reps as they can during the week for the guys, and they know who the starter is, right? When you split those two reps with the ones between two different guys, now they've got 50% of what they're trying of what they really need to prep for a team, feel comfortable. You throw a third guy into a mix, that, I mean, it doesn't make it any better, you know? And
well, we're not prepping for any teams right now. Unfortunately enough, we're just focusing on getting better, and they're just going to be facing the Iowa defense for the next however many 6 months or whatever.
Right.
So it's not so much worried about prepping reps. And another thing on that, I hope to God we have an idea of who's our guy. At least game week, if not going into camp.
I would hope.
I think the worst thing that can happen is we still don't know, and we're splitting reps week 1 versus South Dakota State.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like usually a problem where, you know, these guys want to play too, right? And so to some extent, you think, well, maybe one of these guys transfers out, but it kind of feels like this thing where, you know, it would be our luck as Hawks and the one team that we, you know, we love and played for. They're going through a thing where like, oh, they have too many okay quarterbacks who, you know, you just sent me the tweet the other day about the kid in the portal who, you know, is still looking for a place to land. And we've got these quarterbacks who are like, oh, well, shit, I got a scholarship. Like, I'm not going to walk away from this, you know, like I'm going to fight this out, which is great in a sense. But then it leaves us in this state of, well, we'll keep giving these 3 guys shots until one of them proves it. And if we just have 3 guys that are all the same, man, it's an interesting.
But I'm going to disagree with you that you're insinuating that it'd be better for one of these guys to leave.
I mean, what I'm saying is that would lighten the. It takes one guy out of the battle, right? Like
it makes the decision easier, but I'd rather have to pick between 2 good options versus one shitty option. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. What's unfortunate is I don't know if we have any good options at this point. Like we're picking between mediocre options.
Well, even two okay options, you know? I'd rather have two okay options than just one okay option.
You're right. You're right.
And just, you know, you can go by their strengths and weaknesses, but you got to pick one. And, you know, say it doesn't work out, say that guy gets hurt. Then you have the other okay option, okay? It's absolutely in our best interest as a football team to keep both these guys on the roster.
I agree. I agree. It's just, man, the staff at this point, they just got to be sitting in the offices going, hey, boys, why don't you just want to win this goddamn thing? You want to take this team by the reins and just be the guy? Anybody want to be QB1 around here? Gosh, we gotta start feeding them. You know what they got to do is they got to start feeding these guys double Krispies from Chick-fil-A. Start incentivizing a little better quarterback play out there. Hey, you know what? Next one of you guys to really take control during practice, you guys we're going back to personal pizzas like we did in 2014 back in camp.
Oh, yeah. We're going to go next to some Oreo Blizzards from Dairy Queen.
Was that the best day in camp? The best meal? The best snack?
100% it was, man. That was the one day where I'm like, you know, this ain't actually too bad. The other 21 days were horrible.
What year did they stop doing that? Because that was like the one meal where when we were in our last couple years, we did not get personal pizzas anymore.
I think personal pizzas ended maybe 2015.
I think so too. Yeah. So for those
our last couple ones, we definitely did not.
Yeah. So for the listeners, camp's long and grueling, or at least it used to be. Now it's soft and not, but every day at the end of the day, right around 9 p.m. every night, the players would get snack, right? And for
snack is not just a snack. Snack is a full meal.
Snack is a full-on course with dessert in this case.
Snack is no less than 1,000 calories.
Absolutely. And this would have been after the players already woke up, got a refuel in, depending on what kind of day it was, ate a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. So this would be like their fifth meal of the day, potentially. And
with some snacks, some actual snacks in meeting time, you know, grab a sandwich or protein shake, protein bars, yogurt.
I just thinking back, Kev, the amount of calories on a day like this, if you're eating all the meals, I mean, you're looking at 6,000 to 8,000 easy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because of I think we got a small pizza. Everybody got a small pizza on this specific day. I think it was it Pizza Hut or was it Godfather's? I can't remember.
It was Pizza Hut, and it wasn't a small pizza. It was like a medium or a normal sized pizza from Pizza Hut.
Okay, so we got a medium pizza, and on top of that, they paired it with everybody got a Dairy Queen Blizzard, and you got to choose between like Oreo and a couple other flavors. So you're looking at peanut butter cup. So you're looking at a snack at 9 p.m. of around 2,500 to 3,000 calories, and it was really great. And then they eventually
polished it all off.
Oh, he ate the whole thing, and just went to bed on a belly full of carbs, and you woke up.
And the crazy thing is most guys are still struggling to keep the weight on during camp.
Unbelievable.
Right?
I wish that there was some way we could you could like lab test the guys, like, because they need any more during camp to worry about, but like really put them in a lab and see how much energy they were burning in a day, because some of the little guys who have really fast metabolisms and they're running 2,000-3,000 yards a day, those guys are burning get like upwards of 6,000-8,000 calories a day. It's absurd. It's amazing to me. And the big guys too, because the big guys have a massive engine that they're trying to run those 300-pound tractors around the field all day. So really, I was the only one who wasn't burning that many calories, and I was still eating all the food. Oh shit. I had no problem. And even I, after those long days, there were some days where I was like, shit, I gotta drink a Powerade or I'm gonna miss here. Well, Kev, Drake never showed and he hasn't texted us back.
Should we say a little service for him?
We might, yeah. So let's all just here at the 40-minute mark of this podcast, because I ain't got much left. I was gonna have his thoughts on the whole quarterback thing, but for those listening, everybody just take a sec. We'll take a moment of silence for Drake, and I don't know what that means, but who knows? This happens from time to time. They'll just be like, yeah, man, I got stuck in traffic and I had to beat somebody's ass, so I couldn't make it.
Or he was pissed off and smashed his phone or something.
Right. Yeah, I threw my phone against the concrete. Had to get a new one. I'll be on next week. Okay. That was episode 291. You got Turn Signal Kevin. You got a slow week of content, but hopefully we have a guest coming on soon in the next couple episodes, and then obviously
he's alive. He's alive.
Wow. And okay, so your moments, your moment of silence worked, everybody who's listening, which is actually in the future. So somehow time travel is real, but he just responded 62 minutes after he set the time that we were going to record and said, "My bad, fellas." So we'll figure out what that means and get back to you. But for now, we're going to end this episode, and Kevin's going to hopefully make it back to Iowa City and not be stranded on I-80. And I hope everybody enjoys their Monday. Weather is supposed to be a little bit better in Iowa this week, so enjoy that as well. A little sun, little warmth compared to the single digits we've been playing around with recently. So as always, Hawks by a milli, 291. We'll see you on Thursday. Unless you are a Patreon subscriber, patreon.com/washed-up-walk-ons. Then you'll hear me and Drake. Hopefully he shows up to that one on Tuesday for DHT. Until then, peace.